And it's, see the red light? Yep. It's a recording. Just, that's it. You don't need to zoom or anything like that. Just hold it down.
I got at the beginning of the conversation too.
Nick! Nick!
He's telling them about the trip line down in Cazonia. I think it's from like 10 years ago. Like, he took a bunch of because he came up early. He's like, yeah,
Hopefully you guys can see that law enforcement in the background.
what's the bench? What's it from?
Look at all the tickets you got.
Right overhead, Riley. That guy's a county sheriff.
Oh, I'm not gonna say
I
that.
was just introducing myself at the law enforcement. I see a lot of stuff.
So guys, this is gonna be for everybody watching at home. I just got a ticket. We're down here in La Panza on our real property mining claim as defined by the United States Supreme Court. And we just got this for the second time in as many years, had law enforcement come in and say that we had to leave our mining claim out of this camping ground area, which actually is within the boundaries of the mining claim, or face misdemeanor citation for, he didn't really know what at first, but we had him go back and he spent an hour and his freaking truck came back. And so I got cited for defrauding an innkeeper. Defrauding an innkeeper, guys, and we're going to talk about that as we go forward on this legal case. But so the Forest Service is claiming that they don't have much money to be able to clean up the campground, which they built after the mining claim was filed. This is, in fact, within the boundaries of the mining claim, clearly, and you have fundamental granted rights that go all the way back to 1870, which, guess what? Predates even the formation of the United States Forest Service. So anyway, so I took a bullet today for getting the citation. He actually threatened to cite everybody here today. And we kind of talked him into just giving me a citation. So I got a misdemeanor citation. And believe me, guys, this is literally and utterly absurd. So because they don't have the money within the Forest Service budget to pick up all the trash, which, by the way, Amy, how many bags of trash did we get today? About 5 that we picked up off the claims today. So, but because they built a bathroom here, we kind of have one of those at the office, and gosh, they don't charge us to camp on our own mining claim while we're doing actual mining operations. So anyway, guys, it's kind of absurd, and I'm really glad that this finally came to a head because it gives us a chance to actually go in and put this thing to bed once and for all. But legally speaking, you can go and camp on your mining claim and you don't have to pay some subcontracted third-party garbage collection agency to camp on your own damn mining claim. So we're going to fight that hard. So, with that being said, Mr. Murray.
Is defrauding an innkeeper a section of the federal law? I mean, he's a federal officer, right?
Yes.
He's supposed to.
He's saying he was, I asked him by what jurisdiction he is claiming he had that, and he stated that he is deputized by the county sheriff, which you could see there was a deputy sheriff here, which absolutely remained silent and stood in the background the whole time. So if it's a county issue, why wouldn't you have the deputy sheriff get involved? So the simple fact is if they're trying to claim that some garbage collection service here at this campground, that is undeniably a mining claim and it's been here for 8 years, that they're an innkeeper, that's a pretty big stretch. So I think that they probably wanted a resolution to this as much as we did, and I just don't see any way possible that they could win this in court. So you guys may not have heard that we're sitting in the background here, but I asked him very specifically, can you tell me what your 2800 manual is within the Forest Service? And he's like, well, I know of a lot of manuals, and you know, I can't really quote all of them. I said, well, just give me the gist of what one is. Is it about trees or rocks or fish or what is? Well, it's kind of about public lands. And so the 2800 manual is the Bible that the Forest Service created for guys just like him and the district ranger and all of these other people that work within the agency of what they can and can't do on mining claims. He had no idea it even existed. So again, that identifies very specifically that you've got a Forest Service agency, a federal agency, that doesn't train their employees for crap. They don't know anything about their own laws. They don't know anything about their own regulations. They certainly don't know anything about mining law. So we offered last year, when we went through this crap, which they didn't cite us last year, I offered, and you know, we exchanged names and numbers and all that kind of stuff, and I said, look, I'll be happy to come down here and provide you guys with copies of the Mining Act. I'll print them out. It's not going to be my opinion. It will be printed from the actual Federal Register that you can get online and read. And I'd be happy to train you guys on what the 2800 manual to kind of disseminate the language. It's your manual. I can just explain it, what this is and what this means. And you know, we called them, we tried to set up appointments and all that, and they literally and utterly ignored us. Until today, when I called him out and said, dude, you had a year. You couldn't even Google and read this? So anyway, guys, this is why it's so, this Accountability Act that AMRA created is so important. Is some of you have heard this, some of you haven't. So for the people that know about the Veterans Administration, it was in pretty bad disarray and it was really mistreating people horribly about 5 years ago. And the Trump administration, with a lot of the Republicans, actually with bipartisan support, they created this act, and it's the Veterans Administration Accountability Act, where it basically and very simply states that if you're an employee within the Veterans Administration and you mistreat veterans, or you're doing things outside the scope and course of your employment, meaning doing stupid things like this, not reading what federal law is or applying it equally to people, that you're freaking fired and you lose your pension. And you never get to work for that agency or any other, you know, government agency again. That's common sense. I mean, if you're really crappy, you should be fired. If you were in the public or private sector, you know, working at freaking Shannon's Auto Body and you went and mistreated a customer, I would fire your butt in a heartbeat. So we created this act that is the Forest Service BLM Accountability Act, and it was modeled almost identically after the VA Act. And as God is my witness, guys, if we can get a change in the political landscape in Washington, D.C. in November, which I think we can, we will pass this act. And then examples like this, you know, when you fire 8,000 employees or 4,000, 5,000, whatever it is that the VA fired, when you fire that many people within 6 months, it changes the culture within the whole agency. That's what needs to happen in the Forest Service. I mean, good gosh, we've got examples of them pulling tasers on miners panning in creeks, demanding the CID, to telling miners in Montana, I don't give a crap what you do, I'm never going to let you mine in this state, even though they're on their mining claim. What kind of behavior is that? Well, it's tyrannical and it's rogue behavior, and that kind of stuff needs to stop. So, anyway. So with that being said, let's switch gears and let's kind of get into the whole thing about the raffle and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to turn the camera off, and thank you for